Someone have better picked up that phone. Because I called it. What's up, guys? It's that guy with the pencil, and let's get into it. Seven Deadly Sins, Nanatsu no Taizai, chapter 335. Don't trust the witch. Whatever the chapter's called on Manga Stream. Hold on a second. Hold on. This is live. Shoot, y'all know I don't do reviews scripted. Let me see. Let me see what I can get right here now. Because when I saw this chapter go up on Manga Stream, it had such an interesting name. I had to take note of it because it really just. I think it was what the something was really after. What the witch was really after? Let me see. What the witch was always after. Seven Deadly Sins, chapter 335. Let's get instantly into it. So, like I said, I called it. Merlin is evil. Okay, maybe not. No, Merlin's evil. That honestly, you can't. There's like zero other way to interpret this chapter because here's the thing. It seems like no one knew this was going to happen. Okay, in short, what happens is Arthur gets revived by absorbing the power of both light and darkness that was absorbed in the magic lake from the Seven Deadly Sins max power attack that they used to kill the Demon King. That's what happens. Because apparently humans are chaos and yada yada yada, bada bing bada boom. Basically, this is Merlin's plan all along, and this chapter just raises so many questions, and I seriously am so confused yet intrigued on what this chapter is really going to bring to us, because this is obviously the start of a new arc. There's no way this series is ending in like 10 chapters at all, especially because of the big bombshell drop at the beginning of this chapter. Meliodas doesn't have his powers anymore. I was afraid that was the case after what we got a few chapters back, but yeah, Meliodas gave up his powers to beat the Demon King. That's just a thing. He is now just regular normal Meliodas. I feel like the highest state he has right now is Assault Moon. They did the same thing with Bond's immortality. They nerfed him once he got a power up, but this is even worse because at least Bond kept the power he got from Purgatory. He kept all the advances and resistances he got. He just lost the immortality and the ability to regenerate. But now Meliodas is just a regular demon. And here's the thing. The graces are still out there. The supreme deity is still out there. Heck, now new light and dark powered King Arthur, the King of Chaos, which is honestly a ripoff of the Marvel character, but still a really cool name, is out there. Like this opens up so many avenues for Nakama to take this. He could either play it like, oh no, this is all part of Merlin's plan. It's a good thing. You can make Merlin evil. You can make Merlin have good intentions, but end up messing up with the King of Chaos. He could have Merlin be a subject of the Lady of the Lake, and no, not because he. Okay, I'm literally just rambling and losing my mind over this chapter because this chapter is absolutely wild. So one of these things that catches my eye is really the fact that it seems like no one knew, like not even Meliodas knew. So I understand Elizabeth not knowing because she just got back her memories and well, not just got back, but she got back her memories a little bit ago, so she probably hasn't sorted through everything yet, unless she remembers it all perfectly clear. But she doesn't know this was going to happen. Meliodas, the person who planned this out from the start, this has been a 3,000 year long battle for Meliodas, 3,000 year plus battle for Meliodas to free Elizabeth of the curse, destroy the Demon King, and get his happy ending. So this is still an issue that he doesn't know. So this is legit a plan that Merlin kept secret for 3,000 plus years, so much so that not even Meliodas knew. And to be fair, I'd say next to the respective leaders of the clans, Meliodas is the most knowledgeable and informed character across this entire series because he's literally lived through it all. He's literally been there throughout it all, and the fact that he didn't know this was Merlin's plan is absolutely insane. So I got so many questions. Like, this is the thing. I got so many questions. So one, where's this line? Where's this line? I'm scrolling through the chapter right now. I usually normally don't do this, but now for this chapter, I seriously gotta. So Merlin asks, okay. Merlin asks, "O princess, are you prepared as well? I've completed all the preparations in accordance to thy revelations." Not in that order. Flip that. But still, she says that. So she's talking to no one other than the Lady of the Lake, the magic lake that has this infinite magic that was keeping the Demon King all hopped up on power is supposedly holding even more power than before, and now this infinite magic. And the lake responds. It says, "At last, the time of meeting has come, the meeting of your master and mine." And that is the crazy thing. So, the Lady in the Lake the Lady of the Lake and Merlin are in cahoots. That's the one big thing. Number two, this Chaos King must be like hyper ancient, and like all this magic and what the Lady of the Lake has been storing must have been the Chaos King's power, because the reason they say meet your master is like master implies a form of, like, this sounds really a lot like a Kaguya situation. If you know about Naruto, you know that there was just this plan all the way back by Zetsu of all characters to revive Kaguya. And Kaguya's power never necessarily left the world. Kaguya's power was always chilling as the Ten Tails and in the Nine Tailed Beast. It's just that no one knew about it, except for Zetsu. So this, it seems like Merlin is the Zetsu in this scenario, but instead of Zetsu working alone, had a compatriot, which is the Lake, Lady of the Lake, who I'm guessing is subbing in for basically the tailed beast in this scenario, where the Lady of the Lake is the power, and that's why she gave Excalibur to Arthur and stuff like that. But here's what's blowing my mind even more. So Arthur specifically is apparently this vessel for the Chaos King. As Merlin states, Arthur, I misunderstood. This was not the sword that brought you to death, but the key that led you to your new stage. So this was all planned out previously. So I know Merlin had coddled Arthur and raised him to, be a strong king. But realize, Excalibur wasn't a sword specifically just made for Arthur. This was a sword that goes back generations and generations of Hooping kings, tracing all the way back to the 3,000-year-old Holy War, the first one, because Chandler and Cusack and Zeldris and Meliodas all knew about the power of Excalibur and its dangers. They all knew about the human kings and their various fighting styles. However, it seems like all those kings were just pawns or failed Chaos King holders. Because Merlin is specifically referencing Arthur. I know this is Arthurian legend, so obviously King Arthur has to play an important role. But still, the crazy thing about that is, since this was all planned out, that means one of two things. Either the Chaos King is something ancient, even older than the leaders of the clan, probably older than the clans itself, considering that the two top members of the clans, both Elizabeth and Meliodas, have no idea about it. The Demon King never mentioned this before, and it seems like very few people know that Hawk's mom, by the way, Hawk's mom is the mother of Chaos, but we don't know what that means. Is she the mother to the Chaos King? What is Hawk's mom? Where are the origins of this? Mother of Chaos, Chaos King, Lady of the Lake, Merlin. What does this mean? And I feel like that is what this chapter does. It makes you ask so many questions over what? Over what? About 21 pages? About 21 pages? Let me see. Yeah. So, about 23 pages. This chapter is giving me so many questions. So, that another thing that this chapter does is it gives Arthur a new power set. It it gives him flight, or unless Merlin's floating it. Merlin may be making him float. But obviously Arthur's going to get a massive buff. And Arthur's honestly needed a massive buff just to be relative to some of the late high tiers in the series, because Arthur was weaker than base form Chandler and Cusack. He was weaker than Zeldris. He was weaker than Osamu Meliodas, though Osamu Meliodas is very strong. So Arthur's getting a massive buff from this, obviously. However, the thing that catches my eye even more is what Merlin says here. Of all the races, humans possess the most extremes of both good and evil, light and darkness within their nature. Their existence is the essence of contradiction, and contradiction is also a form of chaos. In other words, the human chosen by the priestess of chaos will be the one to rule and control the chaos. And here's the thing, what makes zero sense about this, not zero sense. So I'm assuming she says priestess of chaos. So I'm assuming that's the Lady of the Lake. I don't think it's Merlin, because I don't know. She's never been this. She is very chaotic. Drove. She literally killed all her people by betraying both the Demon King and the Supreme Deity. She's extremely chaotic, and she's a glutton for knowledge and a glutton for power. That's what the chapter opens with. That she's a glutton for raw knowledge and power, and she wants all of it. She wants the world. However, the thing that catches my eye is she specifically says humans are the perfect vessels for something like the King of Chaos. So something must be hyper specific about this entire scenario because it seems if the Chaos King is like a specific amp that just makes a certain human stronger, why not Bond? Why not any of the Holy Knights? Why does it specifically have to be Arthur? Why? And I know people are gonna be like, haha, Arthurian legend, of course it has to be Arthur. But I don't know. Admittedly, I'm not brushed up on my Arthurian mythology as much as I should be, especially as big as a Taizai fan as I am. But I don't know anything about a King of Chaos from Arthurian legend. Or Merlin, the Merlin wizard being tied into a King of Chaos. This is all brand new material for me. I have no idea about this. But another thing that confuses me is that what Merlin says, the human chosen by the priestess of chaos will be the one to rule and control chaos. But rule and order is, by definition, the exact opposite of chaos. So what does Merlin mean here? I like, does she want chaos? Does she not want chaos? Does she want balance? Does she not want balance? It seems like she doesn't, because she obviously got all her people slaughtered just for the sake of power. I feel like Merlin is just a power hungry person. But then here's another thing. We also don't know what Merlin is. Because once again in this chapter we see Merlin speaking in her own unique language, her own magic casting language. And I assumed, well, all the way back when we first heard this language, when we first saw Merlin's real name, I assumed it was just a demon thing. Like, only demons can say it. However, it was revealed that the wizards of Balialuin were not demons. They were just humans with magic. You know, like every other human, just another human with magic. However, apparently not, because they have unique names and their own unique language that only demons can pronounce and only non human tongues can say, but apparently Merlin is a human. That may be a plot hole or plot contradiction. I'm not sure. But what seems so strange about this is that if Merlin is to be believed, if the through line of Merlin's character is to be understood, she only cares about two things. She cares about her big sis, Elizabeth, and I guess by proxy Meliodas, and she cares about knowledge and power. So what doesn't make sense, if Merlin is a human, then why wouldn't she become the Chaos King or leader of chaos or whatever? Is it because the Lady of the Lake said no? Is it because she can't? Because she's not human? I don't know. Is Merlin some sixth unrevealed race? What is the Lady of the Lake? Is Merlin just a product of the Mother of Chaos? But she can't be, because she actually has a canon father that we've seen go into purgatory and come out alive, but brutally torn apart. It's this chapter raises so many interesting questions, and I honestly hope like Nakaba follows through with this. However, all these questions aside, I do think Hawk's Mama has some role to play with this, and I feel like Hawk's Mama is like a container, almost like a Jinjuriki. I know I keep relating this back to Naruto, but think about it. The Mother of Chaos, or Hawk's Mama, has always been a strange entity, in the fact that we know she produced all monsters despite looking like a pig, and we know that she was revered by the Goddess Clan for containing so much light, and she was also feared by the Demon Clan for containing so much darkness. So that balance or imbalance, I'm guessing, since both clans feared her, is like a pure representation of chaos, and that's why she's called the Mother of Chaos. But also, that means, does she have something to do with this? Is like, once again, is the Mother of Chaos kind of like the Chaos King, a Kaguya situation, where it's kind of just been sealed in this form for who knows how long? Because obviously, Hawk's Mama is way more powerful than it's let on. Like, Derriere punching her and nearly like killing her may just be like a facade or something like that. Because just from what we know, Hawk's Mama is way stronger than what we've been led on to believe based on all the reports on her. So yeah, this chapter has questions, but let me cut away to that and let me focus on a big thing with this chapter. A very, very big thing. So, everyone is there. Arthur is there. And at first, Arthur doesn't really know what's going on. He's wondering, whoa, where have I been? What's happened all this time? What's going on? And he begins to transform. However, it seems like he's fighting the process of becoming the King of Chaos, which is interesting and strange at the same time. Because we know Merlin planned this. And it seems like in the next chapter, which is literally titled The King of Chaos, seems like Arthur's going to complete his transformation. But, like, what does this do for Merlin? Like, what does it do? Because admittedly, everything that Merlin has ever done has been for personal gain. So raising Arthur, as she admits, was to this point. But I'm intrigued to see what the King of Chaos will do for Merlin. Because Merlin doesn't seem like the person who just revives somebody just because. And this is apparently her master. Like this is some top level stuff. This is like her boss. Like Meliodas is the captain of the seven deadly sins, and Meliodas is massively stronger than the majority of the seven deadly sins. So if Merlin's boss is massively stronger than Merlin and massively stronger than the Lady of the Lake, who's able to contain all that magic that came from that combo team full counter from the seven deadly sins, King of Chaos is going to be wild. And that brings me to my final point: the supreme deity. Now Nakaba literally has zero excuse because obviously the series is not ending anytime soon. It can't. It just can't. Like factually, the series can't end soon right now because of this. So it says the order of in the past few chapters it has been emphasizing the point: the balance of light and darkness has been destroyed, and now chaos will reign. However, that is incorrect because the supreme deity has never been confirmed dead. We have no idea what happened to all the graces: Sunshine, Flash, Ocean, and Tornado. All four of them are still out there. We don't know if she's just chilling in the celestial realm or she's dead. She has not been confirmed that she's just been. I think she was confirmed chilling in the celestial realm. So there still is another leader. There still is another god tier character in the verse that just hasn't shown up at all in the past 3,000 years. So I feel like the advent of the King of Chaos is going to force her to drop down. Because right now, if the King of Chaos is as powerful as Merlin's hyping him up to be, and as hyped as he seems to logistically be, considering all the power that he's going to be containing, especially if Arthur awakens his secret magic that everyone's been waiting for him to awaken, even Kath. Speaking of which, I wonder what Kath is, and like, is he just another servant of the King of Chaos? He seems kind of confused on what's happening to Arthur, so I don't know. So now I feel like unless Mael or Elizabeth absorbs the graces, everyone's dying to the King of Chaos, and I mean that flat up and straight out because it seems like the King of Chaos may be even more powerful than the Demon King and the Supreme Deity, just because of how hyped he's being and how much power it takes to revive him. Like, if the Supreme Deity and the Demon King were cells, it seems like the King of Chaos is a Majin Buu because it just took the amount of power that was in that lake combined with the already infinite magic plus the souls that are in Excalibur, all this in combination that was taken to revive the Chaos King and give birth to him again. His power must be ludicrous, and Meliodas does not have his Demon King powers. Ban is not immortal anymore. Escanor is gone. King is rather powerful, but still, King would not beat the Demon King in a one-on-one, from what it seemed like. And Merlin doesn't even seem to be on their side. She wants this. So Merlin isn't even an equation anymore, and Diane and Gother are sadly jokes now, just because of the series just power scaling wise just completely outcliffing them since they got their power-ups over 100 chapters ago and are now currently basically irrelevant. And Meliodas peaks out at assault mode at best. And it seems like Zeldris and Gelda, really just Zeldris, because Zeldris is really the only other fighter. Gelda is not that much of like a physical fighter. And Mael, while both are extremely powerful, Omnis Nebula wasn't standing up to the Demon King 101. Zeldris even admits he's not as strong as Meliodas and the Demon King. And two, Mael doesn't have a grace anymore. And while a base Archangel Mael isn't weak per se, he isn't like fodder to. He straight up admitted, even with Sunshine, he wasn't going to be able to fight the Demon King and the Supreme Deity. So the amount of the trouble with this The trouble with the Chaos King popping up as he is now, the trouble with the Chaos King existing, is that now that he's here, he's going to either force Thucins to get massively stronger for either no explained reason or for a good reason, or something strange has to happen. Or, best case scenario, the Supreme Deity finally drops down. And I feel like this would be the most hype moment in the entire series if the Supreme Deity was just like, all right, that's enough, and just came down from the celestial realm and just appeared and said, all right, thanks for freeing up my graces. I'm gonna take the other half of my power back real quick. I'm gonna power up to full strength. I'm gonna see if I can stop this Chaos King and take control of the world before y'all do anything else that's stupid. That's what it seems like, because there's like nowhere else for this story to go. It has to go in some way where either the Chaos King, Arthur is fighting the Chaos King in his mind, just like Meliodas and Zeldris were doing with the Demon King, or another powerful being is going to have to drop down. Because everything is stacked against the protagonist at this point. They lost one of their fighters, one of their strongest fighters. They don't have any graces. They don't have Demon King power Meliodas to rely on. They don't have all their fighters. One of their fighters has turned against them. Now all their magic, all the power that they accumulated and were using is now stacked into this one being who has a sword that is contained with multiple fighting styles that were already admitted lethal to multiple demons, as Chandler and Cusack admitted. And the Mother of Chaos is most likely on Arthur and Merlin's side, along with the Lady of the Lake, who supposedly has infinite magic. Alongside Merlin, who has infinite magic. Like, bro, these next few chapters, this next arc is going to be wild. And depending on how it's written, I could easily see it going down as the best arc in Taizai. Easily. Because this is wild. Like, I haven't felt this hype. Like, I haven't felt this hype for Taizai in a hot minute. Like, even when Meliodas, even when like Demon King Meliodas popped up, like Demon King Meliodas' body popped up, I was pretty hyped, but I wasn't this hyped. Because like I kind of understood where the Demon King Meliodas thing was gonna go when I first saw it. They were going to beat that Meliodas once it was established that he was the Demon King and not regular Meliodas. However, I don't know about this. Because I literally don't know. And that is great. That is great. The fact that I'm on the edge of my seat and wondering, the fact that I can't wait for the next chapter is fantastic storytelling. And man, this is going to be a painful wait. So, yeah, that was Seven Deadly Sins, chapter 335. Wild. Absolutely wild. Now, is that guy with the pencil writing off.